Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing the update what's going on at the garage. So, 1969 Chevy Camaro, we have her back in the shop and we have the motor all done and are ready to swing the motor in. We finished detailing, completely detailed the inside of the engine compartment, made it absolutely beautiful. The motor came out gorgeous. The paint came out beautiful. We chased every thread on every hole, make sure they're all clean before we put a bolt in it. Before we put the bolts in it, if like this bolt here, this goes into a water jacket, have sealant on the ends of them to keep the water from seeping out. Any steel bolt that goes into aluminum has some type of either torque compound or anti-seize or something like that on it to keep from galling out the threads and causing any kind of corrosion to make the threads of the aluminum and the threads of the steel adhere to each other and seize up and end up either breaking the bolt inside the hole or just galling out all the threads, and now you have to start all over. It really is nice doing it this way. Every bolt is torqued down to the torque specification it's supposed to be done. These two bolts here are just temporary. We have the stainless steel 12-point bolts that will be going on there because we're going to take this back off again. All of the threads have sealant in them. You can see a little bit. I try to clean up as much of the thread sealant as possible, like on this one. The white you see right there is a Teflon tape. It's a thread sealant to keep any water, any oils, anything like that from seeping their way past all of the threads over time. This one I wasn't worried about getting all the sealant off of it because once you put the headers and all the wiring and everything else that goes over here, you won't see this. It's not going to be a big deal. But if you look at this one, you don't see any sealant. I don't like seeing that kind of stuff. I like everything to be highly detailed, or as highly detailed as we can go with the job we're doing. And the paint came out beautiful on this motor. This motor is just absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous motor. Let's just do from this angle here. Look at how nice that looks. It is absolutely beautiful. Just like the engine compartment it's gonna go in. And then we have the new clutch here. I just wanted to put a new clutch. We have it all apart. Why throw the old clutch that was in here? Even though it didn't have a ton of miles on it, I just prefer, just get a new one. You got it apart, get a new one. We got the flywheel cut. It didn't need much, just a little tiny bit. And we're putting all new in there. So everything's looking good for this car. This car should be really nice. And remember, what went wrong with this motor is the bottom end. He was on the highway, he was driving, he got off the highway and he heard a clackety-clack noise. By the time he got home, it was really loud. So the bearings actually spun on the crankshaft inside the connecting rods. We had the connecting rods reconditioned. We had everything measured out by my machinist. He does a beautiful job. I love him as a machinist. And when he took the crank out, we ordered a brand new crank. When he took the crank out, he was going to give it as a core to the company. When he did the MagnaFlux on it, he found a crack in the crankshaft in one of the rod journals. So if the bearing didn't go, at some point that crankshaft was going to crack in half. In a way, it was good that the bearing went, because if the crankshaft cracked in half, it would have been terminal for the motor, and it would have cost a ton more money to redo everything. So it was not good. It was not at all something we want to happen. So we did the new camshaft, we did the new bearings for the camshaft, we did the heads, we measured everything out, we put on the nice roller rockers, we measured out for our push rods, our lifters, everything. I mean, I really go crazy when I build motors. I want them to last and be right and be reliable, but we kept having problems with this. So it is what it is. This kind of stuff happens sometimes. We do our best to make everything work, and that's all you can do. So there you go, guys. We are now ready to swing that motor in and get this car back on the road soon. I'll keep you up to date as we go. Have fun. Okay, bye.